Good evening, and thanks for keeping a date with us on the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria. A program sponsored by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to showcase the rich potentials of the agricultural sector in Nigeria and the efforts of the ministry to tap these potentials. In our last episode, we brought you highlights of events that marked the 2021 World Food Day in Nigeria. In this episode, we're still focusing on the event, and we will look at the success stories of stakeholders, paper presentations, food safety and export market potentials, as well as awards for outstanding stakeholders, amongst others. But before then, let's take the news segment. Keep watching. Agric Ministry sets to make agriculture more attractive in Nigeria. Also, NVRI advises farmers on animal vaccination. In a bid to ensure food sufficiency in Nigeria, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has embarked on the sensitization of the general public on the need to see agriculture as a business. This was disclosed by the Director, Federal Department of Agriculture, Karimo Babangida, in an interview with our correspondent in Abuja during the World Food Day. Karimo stated that the ministry is also working hard to ensure that a lot of innovations are brought into agriculture to make it attractive to youth and other investors.
And we should also treat agriculture as a business. Let us now start looking at the agro dollars, not at the petrol dollars. If you look at the price of petrol today, it is $85 per barrel. But if you look at the price of some agri products like honey, it ranges from $400 to even $1,000, depending on the grade of the honey. So and Nigeria can produce this. So I think that is the way to go.
The National Veterinary Research Institute, NVRI, has advised farmers who are into livestock farming to ensure proper vaccination of their animals to forestall preventable diseases.
The vaccines.
The Deputy Director, Extension Service of NVRI, Dr. Bala Akau, gave the advice in an interview with our correspondent. Akau further advised farmers to also take the sources of their vaccines they give their animals into consideration.
My advice to the farmers is for them to get the vaccine from the right source, because presently in this country we have so many fake vaccines that are being faked by a lot of people. Some of them, they even use expired vaccine to vaccinate those animals, which is very wrong, and as a result of that it won't be able to protect the animal. But once they get these vaccines from the right source, they'll be able to get the value for their own money. And especially we presently, the NVRI, we have 23 outstations all over the country where they can access this vaccine.
All what we did here is mechanized.
It's back to land, back to agriculture.
I can supply the milk factories for milk.
That's the new norm for employment and for wealth creation. Get your piece of the action.
Before farming, we will spread the manure.
There to take on agribusiness.
They have been working in terms of making sure they give us new breeds.
Seize the opportunity you have been waiting for. Watch Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, showing every Friday at 8:30 p.m. on the NTA network service.
The major aim of the World Food Day is to create awareness on agriculture in order to increase production, and there's nothing more inspiring in this endeavor than a success story. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, in collaboration with Food and Agricultural Organization, brought some young agripreneurs to talk about their success stories in the sector. This discussion is a morale booster to others to get involved in the agri sector. Sit back and watch as we take you through some of these discussions in our next segment, Records of the FDA.
The stakeholders in this forum are people in the agricultural discipline and those from different disciplines who ventured into agriculture. Agriculture is the only sector that both civil and public servants are legally allowed to practice in addition to their occupations. This is an enabling environment created by government to accommodate every profession into the agricultural sector.
And one of the key things that
Barrister Nkiruka Stella Okonkwo is among other Nigerians who ventured into agriculture from other disciplines. She is the founder of Fresh Brain Development Initiative, an organization that has developed thousands of young people to make an impact in the agricultural space.
November this year will make it my 16 years as a lawyer. But my journey in the agri sector really started fully in 2013 when my organization was invited by OSPA to be part of an advocacy that we are doing on Grow campaign to mainstream gender within the agri sector. So within that period, a lot of us found out that there was this huge gap that existed in the agri sector. People were thinking that agriculture is meant for the lazy ones, those who are not successful in their academics and the rest of them. So April 2nd, 2014, with the help of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, OSPAM and some others, we started a project that is called the Youth Farm Project. Most of you here are familiar with it, the Y Farm Project. And one of the key things that we saw in the Y Farm Project then was that many people at that point were thinking young people were not interested in the agricultural sector. There was this apathy people had towards young people. So we started what we call My Farm, My Swag campaign.
One of the campaign tools used by her organization is posting of pictures of neat farmers in their farms to make the point that agriculture is not an occupation for dirty people. The campaign has indeed helped in changing the negative mentality about agriculture.
We decided that we're going to spread that awareness that agriculture is a culture, agriculture is a business, agriculture is a career, and most importantly, agriculture is a fun activity that everyone can get into. And so for me personally, it's been an exciting journey.
One of the advantages of the agricultural sector is the possibility of starting small and grow big. It is imperative for young Nigerians to take advantage of the agricultural potentials in the country, as good testimonies abound from those who have done so.
We have a little poultry that we had about 12,000 birds because we recently expanded. We have fish ponds that we use to do irrigation, so that instead of just irrigating off-season, that's during the dry season, we could pass water through fish. That water becomes more nutritious, so it's helped us with production. We found that our ugu, our maize and everything did better, performed better when water passed through fish. So why am I telling you this little story? I'm telling you this little story because I was 21, I think, when I graduated from university. Today, our enterprise employs about 43 people, I'm not very sure, directly. So, and that's this like 11 years down the line. So it means that if you take it seriously, it's the easiest sector.
Agriculture has been seen as the easiest sector. However, it is important to know the strategies to use and become successful in agribusiness. For Mr. Aki, who has created a niche for himself and contemporaries, he started by providing information about agriculture, and through his vision, thousands of Nigerians have been doing well in agriculture. But what are the strategies he employed?
For us, we started by adding value through the power of communication in the agri space, by starting up with a blog. You know, when you have a blog spot, it's always free. You know, we have the link pages and the likes. But what we created was a simple blog to create communication tool and to close the extension gap in the value chain. That was the first thing we did. That was over 20 years ago. Then when we did that, we now moved to the next business strategy. And that is by providing a platform using the regular social media platforms that we have now to now extend the information gap and become more closer to younger generations and younger farmers. Finance in agriculture is very critical, and that is the only way you can grow. And to have access to finance, you must also be able to have your horizons and your ears open to the ground. We have a lot of beneficial partners today in Nigeria that are looking for where to channel funds into. Get your papers right. Ensure that your papers or your farms are registered. Ensure that you are doing or you're practicing your farm property strategy or whatever you're doing in a proper manner.
Agriculture holds a lot of opportunities for foreign investors in Nigeria. For some Nigerians who have seen it all in the Western world, they have made choices to invest in Nigeria's agricultural sector than the Western world, where they have all the privileges to live.
I left this country at the age of 19. I went to the United Kingdom to study. I did economics and finance, and then I did my master's in future media. I was actually given an entrepreneurship visa in the UK, but I deemed it important to come back to do my NYSC. It was when I came back to this country, I discovered that there's a lot of potential in this country.
Chigozie has seen the potential in fisheries subsector of the agricultural sector. Today, he is not only doing well for himself, but for the nation at large. Interestingly, government was able to make his dream come true.
I was able to go into process and I said, why make all these losses, when your fish gets to harvest? Why don't you convert it? Why don't we find a way to process it? And I started that business processing. And it is funny how I actually grew. I took my product. Physically, I went to the Ministry of Youth. I went there, showed them. I even gave them tasters. I said, please, taste my product. This product was done hygienically. I ensured that I followed standards. And when they tasted it, just the staffs there, they were so impressed. I was wearing my NYSC uniform. So this is to inspire you, young people, that you can do it. I didn't have any connection, nobody knew me. I just came in with my NYSC uniform and my cap and I showed them my product. They were so impressed that on that same day, I was taken to the director as at that time. And then the director later asked me to write a letter and I met with the permanent secretary just because of my product. And since then, I've been a facilitator for the ministry and I've trained a lot of young people, both for NYSC and with the ministry.
For the nation's agricultural sector to move to the next level to feed the nation and make it a mainstay of the nation's economy, the sector must embrace the modern technology to close the gap between the young and the old. With proper attention to technology, a lot of jobs will be created in the agricultural sector.
The question I keep asking major stakeholders across the agri sector is this: why can't we have the likes of hackathons, agri-tech, startups that will bring young, creative minds together and provide solutions that will help farmers do their work smartly, reduce time, efficiently, and effectively. Why? What is the problem? There is no problem. It's because we are not ready. It's because we still see agric as agric. We are not seeing it as agribusiness, as agri-tech, as innovation, as technology. And that is the gap between these young folks and you here. If we don't imbibe that in them now, it's going to be difficult for them to see agriculture as an innovative tool that will create jobs, wealth for millions of Nigeria.
While the government intensifies efforts to make agriculture more attractive to the younger generation, the youth must take the challenge to bring in innovation that will revolutionize the sector.
As young people, agriculture has moved on past what we used to think it is. Look at our creative industry. They have revolutionized the sector even without government participation. And now government is even here helping us. So all you need to do is to think about what need, what area, what value chain Do you want to provide an innovation tool? Do you want to provide a new way of doing things?
The challenges of agriculture can be enormous, but the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, in collaboration with other stakeholders, remain resolute to revamp the sector.
If we can have infrastructure sorted out, even if it is targetedly, it gives businesses an opportunity to breathe better and think better on how to expand their employment portfolio. And thank God for the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, the Minister of State, and the Permanent Secretary. I am well aware of what is happening at the back end regarding the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zones program. A support activity by the Africa Development Bank, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, and the Islamic Development Bank.
For the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Muhammad Mahmoud Abubakar, the effort of Nigerian agripreneurs and the support of the ministry will certainly bring a positive change in the Nigeria agricultural sector. Hence, all hands must be on deck.
It is the ingenuity of entrepreneurs like some of you here that would add value to our produce and guarantee the revenue generation potentials of the sector. With concerted effort of agropreneurs, I am very optimistic that contribution of agriculture to the Nigerian economy will increase exponentially from 23% to over 50% in the next 10 years.
Food security is not just the availability of food, but quality food that is safe for human consumption. To produce food that would meet global standards for local and international consumption, there are key areas that deserve attention. In our next segment, we will highlight the paper presentations of stakeholders on food safety for export, food fraud, as well as awards presented to outstanding stakeholders in the agricultural sector. Keep watching.
We'll try to avoid any chemical form of fertilizer or anything.
So from this place, what we learn here, that is what we take to our various food.
I hope you are following the normal procedure of feeding. We'll be fascinated seeing things moving.
We'll also propose solutions.
Setting the stage for the paper presentations, the Minister of State, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mustafa Baba Shehuri, set the mode of expectations for the resource persons.
I also expect that this roundtable discussion will also propose solutions to challenges of Nigeria's agricultural commodities, rejection by the European Union. The discussion should revolve around possible ways to improve global acceptance of the agricultural commodities for export without fear of rejection by international communities.
The export market potential of the Nigeria agricultural sector is bigger than the crude oil potential of Nigeria. For Captain John Okaku, who left his profession as a pilot to go into agriculture, Nigeria agricultural potential is over $250 billion compared to Nigeria's crude oil potential of $30 billion. Despite the huge potential for export in the Nigeria agricultural sector, the production capacity needs to be enhanced to make Nigerian products acceptable in the global market.
As big as Nigeria is, in Kenya today they do about 500-600 tons of agro-export. Every night here in Nigeria we cannot boast of 20 tons a week. We have over $200 million worth of project right now to do into UK. Every single one of those buyer off-takers that I will provide for you when you're ready, they want us to ship it through Ghana because the Ghanaians have gotten their act together. So I took it upon myself. I said, Ghana is not as big as some local governments. Even Holland, a small nation, underneath the water, they do over $112 billion worth of agricultural export. Their population is about 17.2 million, and their land mass is about 43,000 square kilometers. They have bad soil, they have bad weather. But Nigeria, we are 923,000 square kilometers. Take Niger State, for example, they have about 76,000 square kilometers, almost twice the size of Holland. What is Niger State exporting? Zero. Everybody waiting for allocation. So we need to change the narrative.
One of the aspects that attention must be given in order to make Nigeria commodity acceptable in the global market and suitable for local consumption is food safety. How do we ensure food safety?
If your crop is contaminated with chemical contaminants, there is no amount of washing that can take it away. I can tell you that I'm a food safety expert. If your maize has high level of pesticide residue, no matter how much you wash it, it can never take it away. So all this can be fostered from using good agricultural practice. Good manufacturing practice, it's very simple. Having food grade equipment. Because some of our processing operations also introduce cross-contamination. Good storage practice, some products, they require cold room or ambient temperature, good hygiene, personnel hygiene.
For farmers to understand good agronomic practices, efforts must be strengthened by government in providing extension services.
I call on the ministry to look at the areas of extension services as a key to success in any agribusiness. Secondly, I want to inform this gathering that today, more than 80 to 90% of rice cooked in Nigeria per day are grown in Nigeria, milled in Nigeria, and marketed by Nigerians.
Round of applause, please.
This is to show you, in Nigeria, anything we want to grow, as far as agriculture is concerned, already the resources are there. All what we need is to increase the capacity of our smallholder farmers on the best agronomic practices.
The success story of the Nigerian rice industry needs to be extended to other crops for the nation to have all-round development in the agricultural sector.
I want to call on the ministry to look across the entire value chain in agriculture. What has been done to rice can equally be done to sorghum, can equally be done to soya beans, can equally be done to any agricultural produce, so that this country can have self-sufficient, can have food security in the country.
The award category for the most outstanding institute with major breakthrough research results goes to the Institute of Agricultural Research, Zaria.
Another aspect of the 2021 World Food Day celebration in Nigeria was the Agric Ministry's awards to outstanding individuals and corporate organizations that have made great impact in the agricultural sector. Otumba Dr. Gabriel Emiola Ogunsoya, who is the chairman FEG, Agrofarms Nigeria Limited, and Tropical Cattle Ranch Venture, was awarded the most outstanding agriculture farmer in Nigeria.
I don't know that people are looking at me. It's what they saw that make them promote me to this level I am. That one shows that I must put more effort to produce more for the team population of this country.
Similarly, Alhaji Shehu Muazu, who is a commercial rice farmer, was also recognized for his contribution to rice production in Nigeria.
I feel great and I give gratitude to the Almighty Allah for showing me this day. And the award, it's to the whole Nigerian rice farmers, because all Nigerian rice farmers were a family, so the award is to them.
Different award categories were also given to other stakeholders, which include Alhaji Muhammad Amaka, Mrs. Catherine Ezenyerika, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, Dr. Ayola Oduntan. Corporate organizations like Okomu Farms and the Institute for Agricultural Research, Zaria, were recognized for their contributions in the Nigeria agricultural sector.
Wow! I can't wait for another World Food Day and Agric Show next year. Make it a habit to participate in Agric shows, and most importantly, take the decision to go into agriculture, and if you're already in, you can upscale your production. Join us same time next week, same station, for another episode of the program. Until then, stay safe.